solids can sink and float. Even some liquids can float on top of liquids. We found that out.
Cool.
I had been saying it was a property of solids, but I think it's a property of liquids too. I learned some stuff. Okay. Are you ready to begin? Could you tell them what you're planning to do?
I'm going to crack this egg and put the yellow part of the egg in this and see if it sinks or floats.
Let's predict. I want to ask them a question.
Maybe she don't.
Tell me
She's
what-
pretty good at it.
She's very good at it.
She's cracking the
Can
egg.
you come to my house and cook? I'm not very good at it. Okay. My husband's good at
Just
it.
sit you with a little paper
Okay.
towel, I don't.
Now, Quinn, why don't you ask them get them to predict what they think would happen, whether it will sink or float?
Will the egg sink or raise your hand if it will sink? Raise your hand if it will float.
So what do you think more people think? I don't know how to sink. I haven't done this one. Go right ahead. Okay, you can crack it right on the edge of the table. Whatever you want to do. However y'all do it at your house.
Nice and hard. One more time. You got a good crack? Okay.
I knew
I thought it was gonna float like a ball. Boy, was I wrong. Whoa, that's really cool. I was wrong.
I was wrong too.
Here we go. Zoe, it's her turn.
I will put salt in the water and then I will put the egg in
The same kind of thing, but with salt. No salt and salt. Okay, maybe you could get them to predict.
Will you think the egg will float? Raise your hands. If it will sink. I think a lot of them said float.
You did, okay, all right. Let's see how you do in there. She's got some salt.
I'm in float.
Mix it up with the, yeah, good.
What about one of our stirrers? Hang on. I've got a coffee stirrer. How about this? Here, use this knife.
It's
This knife is longer. Could you stir it with that?
Some
Look at the salt. What did the salt do?
It dissolved.
Okay, if any salt is at the bottom, did that salt dissolve?
No.
Why does some go to the bottom sometimes? Emerson?
Because when you put a lot of salt in there, they sometimes make them big and sometimes make them little.
What do you mean? Make it
Sometimes
big? Wait.
sometimes they're big balls and sometimes they're little.
Okay, well, let's pretend the salt's all the same size, particles, okay? Why does some of the salt sometimes drop to the bottom and doesn't seem to dissolve?
Chris.
Look at the difference. Look. Look at that.
That's disgusting.
I think one is translucent. Good. Okay. Why does some of the salt seem to drop? Is there any salt? Oh, I see the salt sitting on the bottom. Why is that? Why is that, Sutton?
There's not enough room for the salt in the water.
Sometimes if you put more salt than you need, only what the water will hold will dissolve and the rest will sink to the bottom. That happens to me with my Nesquik when I make chocolate milk every day.
I hate chunks.
And the part that doesn't dissolve sinks to the bottom, and I drink it anyway.
I do too. But I drink hot
Very good. Very good. Quinn, this is a great experiment. It's got a lot going here. Great, Mom. That's good. We'll get it. It's okay if you make a spill. It's not a problem yet. You should see me break an egg.
Oh,
Oh, whoa! All right. you of any other salty water in the world? Just a moment.
There's in a state there's an ocean called the Died something.
The Dead Sea?
Yeah, and you can float. It has so much salt in it that you can float.
How do you know about this? I didn't know this when I was your age.
My
I just learned this last year. Your dad told you about the Dead Sea? You think I could float in the Dead Sea?
Yeah.
You sure? I don't float good. I sink a lot. Don't laugh at me. I'm doing my best. I can try to float, but I can only float for a minute and then I sink.
It's okay though.
He walks on a boat on the Mississippi River.
He does. Tell him not to fall in. It's a bad current.
Oh.
He,
Last question. Give her a big hand.
That's nasty.